and welcome back to Learn English at Home 79. I'm your host Anna. Today we have a really fun episode all about idioms that describe ordinary things and people. Have you ever heard someone say, run of the mill? What does it mean? Well, you're about to find out.
Hi everyone, I'm Ben. I'm so glad to join you today. I love talking about idioms because they make English feel alive. And honestly, some of these phrases might surprise you. They don't always mean what they sound like. So, are you ready to learn something useful for your daily English?
You know, Ben, we always hear about things that are amazing or special. But in real life, so much is just, well, normal. That's why today's idioms are perfect. They focus on everyday things that aren't very special.
I get what you mean, Anna. It's easy to celebrate the exciting stuff, but we use English all the time to talk about regular, boring things too. That actually reminds me sometimes the most useful words are about the ordinary.
Absolutely. And if you're learning English, talking about daily life is key. So, Ben, let's start with our first idiom. What's up first?
The first idiom is run of the mill. It sounds a little strange, right? But don't worry, it's simple. When something is run of the mill, it just means it's ordinary, nothing special.
Yeah, it doesn't stand out. For example, if you watch a movie and say, it was kind of run of the mill, you mean it was okay but not amazing. Now, let's explain that word. Do you know what mill means?
A mill is a factory, like for making paper or cloth. Run of the mill actually comes from when factories made a lot of basic, normal things. Nothing was checked for, high quality. It just came out as usual. So today, it means something is just average.
Let's hear how run of the mill is used. Imagine someone says, the rock concert was cancelled because fans didn't want to pay just to see run of the mill bands.
Right. So here, the bands are just okay, not bad, but not special either. Fans wanted something better. By the way, concert means a live music show and canceled means it didn't happen.
Exactly. And band is a group of people who play music together. Talent is someone's natural skill. If the bands had more talent, maybe they wouldn't be called run of the mill.
Here's another example. John is a great neighbor and always helps everyone. He's not your run-of-the-mill neighbor. So, he's different. He's more caring than most.
And did you catch those words? Considerate means he thinks about other people's feelings. And neighbor is the person who lives near you. But then, about John's guitar playing, someone said, if I were him, I wouldn't quit my day job.
That's funny. It means John isn't a special guitar player, he's just run-of-the-mill, maybe even a little below average. See how this idiom can be used for things and for people?
Now, let's look at our second idiom. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry. Do you know what that means, Ben?
This one's fun. It's used for everybody, especially when we mean just regular people, not anyone special. The names Tom, Dick, and Harry are very common. So if you say every Tom, Dick, and Harry, you mean anybody at all.
Exactly. Let's listen to an example. With a computer and internet connection, every Tom, Dick, and Harry can get information from around the world.
I want to pause and explain two words here. Connection means being linked to something, like the internet. Access is when you can use or get something like information online.
And click, that's when you press your mouse. So the sentence shows anyone, even the most regular person, can find information online today. Isn't that interesting?
It really shows how life has changed. Everyone, not just experts, can learn new things. That's powerful and a little overwhelming sometimes.
Here's another situation. A mom says, my daughter Diane hasn't had a date in months. She's getting so desperate she'll go out with any Tom, Dick, and Harry. But I hope she waits for someone special.
Now, date here means going out with someone you might like as a boyfriend. Desperate means you really, really want something. sometimes too much. Hold out means to wait. So Diane should wait for a special person, not just anybody.
That's a good lesson. Sometimes it's better not to choose the first option, wait for something, or someone really good, not just a run-of-the-mill or Tom, Dick and Harry choice.
You know, hearing these idioms makes me think, is it always bad to be ordinary? Sometimes being run-of-the-mill is just fine. Not everything needs to be special.
I agree, Ben. In fact, life is full of everyday things, and that's okay. But learning these idioms helps you sound more natural in English and understand what others really mean.
Good point. Plus, knowing idioms helps you understand jokes or advice. Have you ever felt like every Tom, Dick, and Harry was doing something, but you wanted to be different?
So now it's your turn. Can you think of a time when you saw something run-of-the-mill? Or maybe you felt like every Tom, Dick and Harry was using a new app or trend. Share your story in the comments.
We'd really love to hear your examples. Using these idioms in your own sentences is a great way to practice. And maybe you'll make someone laugh or smile with your new English skills.
Before we finish, let's share a few quick tips to help you remember idioms better. One way is to write them down with your own example sentences. The sillier, the better.
Another great idea? Draw a little picture or cartoon for each idiom. And try to use the new idiom in a real conversation, even if it feels a bit funny at first. The more you use it, the easier it gets.
Also, don't stress if you forget sometimes. Learning takes time, and you're doing great just by listening and practicing.
Well, that's it for today's episode. Thanks for joining us. We hope these idioms help make your English a little more colorful and fun.
Remember, every expert was once a beginner. The more you listen, speak, and try, the better you'll get. So keep going, and don't let English be just run-of-the-mill for you.
And here's a final tip. Review a new idiom every day. Say it out loud, use it, and you'll remember it much better. We can't wait to see you next time. Until then, keep smiling and keep learning.
Bye for now, everyone. See you in the next episode. And remember, you're not just any Tom, Dick, or Harry. You're special because you keep learning.